Hello, I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And welcome to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation. Mountain. The word alone inspires a sense of imposition, challenge, adventure, and thrills. Just the mere sight of any mountain, however large, is, alone, a testament to the power and the formidable longevity of nature.
From the Greek gods living atop Greece's Mount Olympus to Turkey's Mount Ararat, where Noah's Ark came to rest, some mountains are more than just larger than life. They are mighty monoliths of mythical proportions.
Ooh, nice. Almost had a whole alliteration there.
I know, right?
Well, poetry aside, even Walt Disney understood the innate intensity of a tall, craggy edifice and the potential for some really thrilling rides. In 1959, Disney introduced the Matterhorn bobsleds in conjunction with the release of the film Third Man on the Mountain. It was the first roller coaster of its kind to have a curved metal track, enabling it to feature faster speeds and tighter corners. This innovation would, of course, lead to hundreds of other coasters all over the world, especially Disney's own.
Disney cranked out more Wild Mountain roller coasters in Disneyland, and they were subsequently duplicated in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. Space Mountain came first in 1975, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad arrived next in 1979, and Splash Mountain made its first splash in 1992. But despite warm public acceptance over the years, Disney had to up the ante.
In 2005, while Disneyland was celebrating its 50th golden anniversary, Walt Disney World had no interest in getting left out of the festivities. Questions arose as to what ride or show should be brought to Disney's Animal Kingdom. For 7 years since its opening, Animal Kingdom had long been criticized for being just a half-day park. Sure, Dinosaur and Kilimanjaro Safaris and even Kali River Rapids brought some much-needed thrills to a park with about half the attractions of the Magic Kingdom, despite being 5 times its size. But it wasn't enough. Animal Kingdom needed something huge.
How huge?
Mountain huge.
You know, I wonder how that meeting went down.
Alright team, it's crunch time. Animal Kingdom needs a mountain with a ride inside. I need ideas, people.
Hi, sir. I got an idea. Why don't we build one where we, like a ride like a log or something, and see, you kind of just coast along, and there's cute little animals, and they sing, and there's this bear, and he's all derpy derp, and it's all cute and fun, and then you go over like this really tall flume thing, and you're like, splash! But here's the best part. It's all based on an old, long-forgotten, live-action animated Disney movie. So people are gonna be like, oh, I like that movie. When Disney's ever gonna release it? And here's the kicker: not release the movie. And so people will have to, keep riding it to get their one and only fix.
I see. Very good. Now, what movie did you have in mind, intern?
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
No.
Oh, So Dear to My Heart?
No.
Pete's Dragon?
No.
Song of the South?
You're fired.
Oh.
Come on, let's skip the cutesy cartoon stuff. Let's try a real mountain. McKinley.
Pikes Peak.
Ayers Rock.
Vesuvius.
Mount Washington.
Kilimanjaro.
K2.
Mountain Dew.
Aconcagua.
No, not big enough. Break time, people. Ugh, I need something to cool my head.
Snow cone?
Oh, thank you. Oh my, you're a hairy fellow, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions?
Always! No, never go out in a blizzard.
Duly noted. But what mountain range strikes fear, terror, and forbidden temptation in the hearts of many a bold adventurer?
Welcome to the Himalayas!
You're hired.
Wait, what?
Your mind must be a magical and terrifying place.
You should see what it's like after a few spoonfuls of NyQuil.
No, I shouldn't. Once Imagineer Joe Rohde and his crew decided to construct a ride based on Nepal's legendary Mount Everest, complete with its own Yeti. Several research trips to Nepal were made to study not just the mountain itself, but the culture, the people, and, of course, Yeti lore.
For example, those pastel-colored flags that ripple in the breeze at the ride's base, those are prayer flags. They even consulted renowned primatologists to get an idea as to what the mysterious guardian of the mountain might look like. They knew a cute, cartoony Yeti would not only be disrespectful to the culture, but it wouldn't fit the heavy tone the Imagineers were aiming for.
Now, here's an interesting factoid for you. Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, is actually 3 ride systems all intertwined in one. One for the roller coaster, one for the mountain, and one for the Yeti. But these 3 systems are unable to make contact with each other. This architectural marvel cost Disney $100 million to make, And when it opened, Disney used a couple of different promotions, including Travel Channel specials and a publicity stunt in New York City's Times Square. To this day, it remains a monument of...
Whoa. Hang on, Silver Clock. You see that?
See what?
Is that Dumbo?
Huh? How'd he get in here? Dumbo?
Hey, little guy, it's okay. Come here, buddy. It's okay. What's this? Got a note for us? Okay. Thank you.
How did he fly out? The window wasn't even open.
Oi.
Oh, wait, what is it?
It says Disco Yeti.
I don't get it. Why did Dumbo have to...
Oh, I get it.
Really?
Yeah. Elephant in the room.
That's it. I'm firing our scriptwriter.
Hello, Topfoot Gifford, scriptwriter.
You're fired.
Well, that's a downer.
Well, no sense in beating around the bush. When the ride first opened, the Yeti was one of the most advanced, lifelike, fully functioning audio animatronics to date. But after only a few months of operation, the concrete base of the Yeti structure split. The result was forcing the Yeti to shut down all movement to prevent further damage and a potential hazard to guests. To fix it, Disney would have had to shut down a brand new attraction for several months while they repaired the damage. This would cause bad press and a lot of upset guests. Plan B was only slightly better. This involved keeping the Yeti off, keeping the ride open, but turning on a strobe light.
The flickering light on the monster almost gives the impression of movement, but many parkgoers weren't convinced or impressed. As a result, the creature has received the very unflattering moniker Disco Yeti. Someday there will be a major refurbishment, and the Yeti will be restored to his former glory. But it's a massive fix with a massive budget on a massively popular Massive Mountain Merrymaker.
Full alliteration. Nice. Speaking of size, Expedition Everest is 199 feet and 6 inches tall. Since 1994, Hollywood Studios' Tower of Terror was the tallest at 199 feet. Why? Well, the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, states any building 200 feet or taller requires airplane warning lights. Since these lights are out of character for a 1930s hotel,
Or Himalayan mountain.
Disney stops just short enough.
None of this stopped Expedition Everest from winning the prestigious Theme Park Insider Award for Best New Theme Park Attraction in 2006.
It's even in the Guinness Book of World Records, the most expensive roller coaster ever built.
So despite its flaws, is Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, a good attraction? Well, let's open the floor up to discussion.
I've got to say, going backwards is definitely the Disney equivalent of inversions or going upside down on a roller coaster.
It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other roller coaster that does go backwards in the dark like this one does.
Certainly none in the United States. No, I can't.
Not even at Universal, surprising. Well, anyway, what do you like best about it?
I think it's just the right amount of thrills and terror. I like that it's the right amount of scary. It's not way overly scary to where even, most younger folks couldn't enjoy it. I think it's like right there. It's great and thrilling for the adults and the young teens, but even kids can kind of get into it too. It's just that right amount. It's even the right amount of scary for me. And I'm not much of a coaster fan, but I definitely like Expedition Everest.
I do like roller coasters, and I like how this is set up. How it has a mixture of kind of a gentle roller coaster, the incline, going backwards, and even the big drop down. That being said, I think this is very well paced. I like how it starts off as kind of the gentle rolling hills, just to kind of get you into the feel of the base of the mountain, and then you go up that incline that builds up the tension, and then when you finally stop where the track is all torn up by the Yeti, and that's when the ride's story really starts.
So yes, the story. And speaking on the story, I think it's a good story, but it's not really, it's kept from being truly a great story by a lack of motivation. I mean, other than the adventure of going up Everest, we don't really have a motivation for being on Mount Everest.
Yeah, we're just in a T train, but that's about all we're given.
A T train, yeah. It's okay. It's not great, but I think for a roller coaster, it's a passable story.
Yeah.
And you don't want to think too much when you're being scared.
I think the thing I love most about Expedition Everest is the level of detail. Disney is the master when it comes to detail. And when you go through the queue of Expedition Everest, first you go through the temple, and then you go through the museum, where it's all climbing artifacts about the ecosystem of the Himalayas and so on and so forth. It is fascinating.
It's got such a level of detail that it's almost actually enjoyable to wait in line for this one.
Very much so.
Even if you're waiting as much as 30 to 45 minutes, which usually the wait time's a little bit longer than that during most periods, but it's still it's an enjoyable queue experience because it's very well themed.
Yeah, absolutely. The only things I don't like about it are, of course, the Yeti no longer moving.
Yeah.
I actually remember the first time I rode it, the Yeti was still in operation.
You saw the Yeti move.
I saw the Yeti move, and it was pretty incredible.
You're so lucky.
And the ending of the ride is very abrupt.
You feel so?
Yeah, absolutely. Once the ride, you see the Yeti, and ride's over.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, the first time I rode it was in 2011. Yeah, I'm a bit of a coaster scaredy cat, but I feel like I kind of wish I could have seen the Yeti move, and I think the Travel Channel special actually depicted that too.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the only time I've ever really saw it.
Yeah.
If that Yeti was moving again, I think that would really bring a lot of people back to Animal Kingdom to ride it again. But until that Yeti moves again, it's a good roller coaster, but it's not truly a great roller coaster. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5 out of 5.
And I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
You like it a little bit more than I do, but then again, you did get to see the Yeti move.
Well, it's still a good roller coaster no matter how you slice it.
True that. Okay, so for one of the wildest, tallest, fastest roller coasters on Walt Disney World property, complete with an 80-foot drop and a whole middle of the ride where you're zipping around in the dark backwards, there's probably a few safety precautions to go with it, right? The answer is most definitely.
If you're traveling in a wheelchair or a scooter, you will need to transfer. You should be free of any heart, back, or neck problems. Those who have high blood pressure, motion sickness, or are pregnant are best suited in skipping this ride, and as this could severely aggravate these issues.
And as far as kids go, children must be at least 44 inches tall or 112 centimeters tall to ride. As usual, kids need to be at least 7 years old to ride, and if they are younger but reach the required height, they must ride with someone at least 14 years old. Finally, due to the turbulent nature of the ride and minimal legroom, service animals are not permitted. Oh, and did we mention there's a single rider line?
This ride is definitely made for teens and young adults. It's heavy on thrills and adventure. If you're afraid of heights, be careful. Not a lot of people enjoy seeing all of Walt Disney World in one big panoramic view.
Thrill junkies will agree that Expedition Everest is one of Walt Disney World's wildest, best rides, so enjoy what it has to offer, and... Is that a Yeti?
Can we help you?
I've been listening to your guys' podcast.
Yeah, is that so?
How are you able to fit in here?
Your show's missing something.
Oh? What's that?
Do we have any security personnel?
I know. Oh, yeah, that beat is out of sight, man. Go, baby.
Well, that's all we have for today, everyone. I'm Surfer Clock, and he's Tap G. Thanks for listening to What's the Attraction, where our work is your vacation. Take care.
Seriously, are we going to address any of this?